Richard tries to reassure her that she's not, but Christine pleads for transparency. She cuts the BS, straight up asking, "Am I Betty Danker's daughter?" Rhoda's cold-ass response, "Why should I cry? Claude Daigle's the one that died, not me." In the living room, we see a little bit of Rhoda's mask slip when Monica brings up her loss against Claude Daigle. Welcome everyone to the first video during the spooky season. It's your host Gio, and today I'm going to be bringing you something a little different, a bit more personal. If I sound off, I apologize. I have a bit of a cough. Today we'll be looking at 1956's The Bad Seed. A pretty unassuming movie for most, but for me holds a special place in my heart. Let's quickly flash back to the early to mid-2000s, when I was but a young lad. I remember every Saturday after work my pops would take me down to the local video rental store, letting me free roam the store. Meanwhile, he would go check out the little room in the back. To this day, I don't know if that was a great idea or not, but it led me to a day that I would never forget. I wandered into the horror aisle, and my little 4-year-old pea-brain was not ready for such ungodly terror. I ran to my dad frightened and afraid. After he had calmed me down, I wandered right back into the aisle. That's when I locked in on the VHS version of The Bad Seed. To this day, I don't know what about the cover or the title drew me in, but I eventually got scared, and that was the end of that. So I thought to myself, why not bring it full circle and cover the movie here? The Bad Seed tells the story of Rhoda, played by Patty McCormack, who appears as a sweet, innocent little girl with pretty pigtails, but in actuality hides a darker, more vicious side. So when a boy in her class tragically dies, no one suspects a thing. However, when Rhoda's mother discovers the boy's personal belongings tucked away in her room, will she get away with it, or will her little tantrum grow into something more? With all that out of the way, let's jump right into today's movie. The movie opens with Colonel Kenneth Penmark, Rhoda's father, giving his farewells to his family as he deploys. Monica, the landlady, also comes by to give the farewell, as well as gifts. Before heading out, the father and daughter duo drop us this bar.
What do you give me if I give you a basket of kisses?
I'll give you a basket of hugs.
Aw, that's so wholesome. Christine gives her own goodbye. Damn, she's a thug. You see how she popped her collar? Rhoda shows off her shiny new sunglasses. But that's not all. Monica also gives her a necklace. Rhoda gratefully accepts the gift. Monica also makes comments on how Rhoda is more ladylike and old-fashioned compared to the other girls. Rhoda then heads off to get ready for school when Leroy, or the way they pronounce it in the movie, Leroy, the apartment's handyman, casually barges in. Monica scolds him for his actions, and it looks like there's already pre-existing beef between Leroy and Rhoda.
I don't care what you didn't have.
In the living room, we see a little bit of Rhoda's mask slip when Monica brings up her loss against Claude Daigle for the penmanship medal. Out here looking like Dexter Morgan. On their way out, Leroy sprays Rhoda's shoes with a hose. Monica goes off on him. Rhoda even joins in, against her mother's pleas to stop. After the whole fiasco, Christine and Rhoda arrive at the school picnic, with Christine questioning the teacher about Rhoda. Mrs. Fern confirms Rhoda is the perfect model student. However, she alludes to Rhoda being a little antisocial. Christine walks away a little worried. At home, Christine and company must have dropped some acid or something because they turn into psychoanalysts. When Christine voices her disdain for blood and violence, Monica especially is convinced Christine is mentally fucked up.
Well, I'll be a middle-aged mongoloid from Memphis.
Where the fuck did that come from? Anyways, Christine does drop a nugget of lore, suggesting she may have been adopted. Monica's nosy ass wants to pry more, but Christine's had enough. The fellas decide to check on the news radio when there's an announcement. 8-year-old Claude Daigle tragically drowned when he was playing on the abandoned pier. Christine is relieved it wasn't Rhoda, but now she doesn't know what to tell her or how to comfort her. Monica basically tells her, you better go handle that shit. Christine and Rhoda begin to go over the timeline of events. Rhoda, seemingly unfazed, asks for a PB&J sandwich. Christine thinks Rhoda is in shock, but Rhoda confirms to her that she found it very exciting, asking for that PB&J. Christine is rightfully freaked out, but continues as if nothing happened. Outside, Rhoda is playing with her skates and eating her sandwich when Leroy comes by asking Rhoda why she didn't cry for the little boy like her classmates. Rhoda's cold-ass response, "Why should I cry? Claude Daigle's the one that died, not me." Safe to say Leroy is onto her. Mrs. Fern drops by the following day asking Christine if Rhoda has anything to say about the incident. Christine says no. Mrs. Fern elaborates Rhoda was the last one with the boy. Christine and Miss Fern have a back and forth about Rhoda when Claude's mother and father show up. Poor Miss Fern has been sliming a few drinks back, looking to pick a fight with Christine, insulting her family, her status, and Christine as a person. As a mother, she has every right to be mourning the loss of her son. She wants answers but keeps insulting Christine and even Mrs. Fern. Looks like that's the end of that. Mrs. Fern also pieces out after the Doña's chisme. Christine calls over Rhoda when Christine gets a call from Papa Kenneth, who's asking about the accident at Rhoda's school. In true housewife fashion, Christine downplays the situation along with Rhoda's involvement. After the conversation, Monica stops by to pick up Rhoda's necklace to replace the gemstone when Christine finds the boy's award medal. She confronts Rhoda about it. You can see Rhoda's true self slip for a split second. She puts the mask back on, changing the subject, but Christine is stern with her. She drops her guard again when Christine brings up the guard that saw her playing on the pier. Rhoda tries to spin a web of lies, but Christine calls bullshit. You see how Rhoda is fidgety? She's trying to buy herself some time. Christine catches on to the facade when Rhoda brings up Claude won't know if he's buried with the medal or not.
If she wants little boy that bad, why doesn't she take one out of the orphan's home?
Rhoda.
Damn, Rhoda, you heartless monster. Some time passes by and we see Colonel Kenneth give Rhoda a tea set. She goes outside to play when we see homeboy Leroy pull up trying to play detective. He knows Rhoda killed Claude with a stick and then pushed him into the lake. Rhoda tries to brush it off, but she's failed to realize she didn't dispose of the weapon properly. Like an amateur, even asking her mom how exactly the police test for blood. Her mom catches on immediately, but without any hard evidence, gives Rhoda a shadow of a doubt. Mr. Tasker arrives for Christine's little dinner party.
Oh, you like little girls to curtsy?
Best thing left out of the Middle Ages.
Anyways, Rhoda excuses herself and heads upstairs to Monica's. Now that Christine and Mr. Tasker are alone, Christine asks the million-dollar question. Is it nature or is it nurture? Mr. Tasker suggests it's nature, giving numerous examples of serial killers who started out young with high IQs. Before he can continue, Christine's dad, Richard Bravo, rings the doorbell. Mr. Tasker glazes Mr. Bravo for his brilliant essays on murderous psychopaths. I'm starting to sense a theme here. So now Mr. Tasker asks Mr. Bravo, is it nature or is it nurture? Pops argues it's nurture, blaming the surroundings and proper upbringings as to why people become killers. After a couple of gin and tonics, Mr. Tasker talks about Betsy Danker, a female serial killer who started out committing crimes at the age of 10, who was also caught 3 times but let go scot-free those 3 times. There was also a theory she may have had a daughter, however Mr. Bravo calls it hogwash. With the conversation coming to a close, Mr. Tasker takes his leave. Richard and Christine have a father-daughter talk. Christine brings up the fear that she may have been adopted. Richard tries to reassure her that she's not, but Christine pleads for transparency. She cuts the BS, straight up asking, am I Betty Danker's daughter? Fearing Rhoda may have inherited a bit of her grandmother's psychopathy. Christine is on your ass now, Rhoda. Richard still calls the hereditary theory bullshit though, so strap in everyone, here comes Christine's backstory. Christine begins the story with a dream, where she lays in a crib in a room with her older brother until one day her mother kills her brother allegedly. She climbs out the window, hiding in a nearby bush, listening to her mother cry out her name.
What name did she call?
Ingo Danker, she's called...
She's found by her neighbor, then adopted by Richard and his wife. Rhoda is a natural-born killer. Christine breaks down to her father, sounding like me after a breakup, talking about, let me die, please let me die. And then right as she's about to bring up Rhoda's behavior... Fucking Monica, you nosy bitch. Oh, I guess Rhoda's ready to come downstairs. Never mind. Rhoda greets her grandpappy, but Mr. Bravo stares at Rhoda, studying her. Even Rhoda's like, Grandpa, put me down, please. Mr. Bravo heads out with Monica to get him settled in. Meanwhile, Christine prepares dinner. She's heading to the living room when she catches Rhoda trying to sneak something out through the back.
No!
So she used the shoes. Now that we got the murder weapon, it's time to confess, Rhoda. And confess she does, explaining Claude had hid from her on the deck. Rhoda struck him once for the medal. Once he gave it to her, it was open season from there, killing him in cold blood. Christine promises to protect Rhoda, but I can feel she might be cooking up something. And her plan is to burn the shoes. Oh no. Some time passes, Rhoda is playing outside when Leroy comes by, egging Rhoda on. Rhoda confidently tells Leroy she got rid of the murder weapon. However, Leroy finds an inconsistency when he brings up the shoes with the metal heels, explaining he hadn't heard her tapping away in a while. Rhoda, though she may be smart, she is still a little child. She boldly tells Leroy she dumped the shoes down the incinerator. Leroy teases her that he has the shoes before they got burned. Rhoda believes him 100% though. That's when Christine arrives. She overheard a bit of the conversation. She tells Leroy to go away, and he heads down to the incinerator immediately, and guess what he finds? Upstairs, Monica gives the necklace with the right gemstone. Rhoda takes it outside so she can buy ice cream. But that's not the only thing she took. Nosy Monica is worried about Christine, reassuring that she is loved. Christine begins to break down when the doorbell rings. It's Mrs. Daigle again. And she's drunk. She wants to chat with Rhoda, but she also wants another drink. When Rhoda arrives, Miss Daigle begins questioning her. Before things could get deeper, Monica whisks her away. Miss Daigle continues her drunken rant until Mr. Daigle arrives to take her home. Not before Miss Daigle pleads to Christine to tell her the truth. Monica comes back and has a little chat with Christine when they hear,
Not to, but
"Oh shit." Rhoda walks in like she doesn't know a thing, playing her piano to drown out poor Leroy's pleas for help. Look at Christine's face putting two and two together. Christine has had enough, blaming herself for Leroy's death. She loses it between Leroy's death screams and Rhoda's piano playing. Christine lashes out at Rhoda. Monica, unaware of the darker truth, takes Rhoda upstairs so Christine could calm down. Later that night, Christine is cooking up something. This time for sure. She routinely gives Rhoda her bedtime vitamins, reading her story. She goes to tuck in Rhoda. Christine heads to her room and, well... Oh shit, Christine. I was not expecting that. 2 days later, at the hospital, Papa Kenneth, Papa Richard, Monica, and Emery. They all have their own theories on what exactly happened, but one thing is for sure, Rhoda is still alive. The doctors arrive to give us the diagnosis. Christine is alive, but is still in a coma. He advises everyone to go home and get some rest, especially Rhoda, so everyone disperses. At home, Rhoda is telling us, the audience, of her next victim, Monica, but her dad just finds it as silly kid questions. When her pops falls asleep, Rhoda heads out into the thunderstorm on a mission to retrieve what's rightfully hers, the medal. Oh yeah, I may have forgotten to mention earlier that Christine had dropped the medal in the lake by the pier. Speaking of Christine, she's awake. The devil child arrives at the dock looking for the medal when... Oh shit, rip Rhoda. Well, I guess that's it. What a wild way to end the movie. In the words of a great man.
Fuck your baby! My daughter? Your daughter, nigga, fuck that bitch!
The Bad Seed is based on a novel by the same name. The book and play were a hit with audiences, but due to its violent and at times graphic nature, Jeffrey Sherlock, head of the Production Code Administration, which was like the MPAA back in the day, he would send out letters telling all the major studios to stay away from adapting the book in fears of breaking the code. None of the studios had ever heard of the book, so the bidding war began. Warner Bros. Bought the rights for $300,000 in 1955, which is roughly $3 million today. God damn! The movie was a hit with audiences and critics. I believe it's because they brought many of the play actors into the movies, something like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. While the movie did not win any Oscars, it did, however, take a Golden Globe home for Best Supporting Actress in Elaine Eckhart, who played Mrs. Daigle. Now, by today's standards, this is a classic that inspired a bunch of like The Omen and, dare I even say, Orphan.
I'm not your fucking mommy!
But in the 50s, it was heavily criticized to the point where they had to slap on an adults-only sticker in certain areas to appease the censors. They eventually changed the ending from the book and the movie. Originally, in the book, Christine dies, which makes me wonder how audiences would have reacted to the original book ending on screen. It probably would have been on the same levels of controversy as The Exorcist or Silent Night, Deadly Night. Mothers outside with their picket signs warning you not to watch this demonic abomination and fears that your child will too become an evil killer. However, here at the Beyond Scared Stone channel, we buy into the fear-mongering, rating it an 8 out of 10. Perfect for little ones who want to express themselves in a more alternative kind of way.
I always say, killing's good, clean fun for the whole family.
What murder?
My least favorite part of the film is Monica. Bratty and a bit fucking annoying. I don't like you, Monica. You're my least favorite type of fucking neighbor. My favorite part of the movie was Christine, or the actress who played her, Nancy Kelly's performance. Striking, powerful, and moving, she's definitely top 10 miserable moms in films. Alright everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed our first spooky season video, definitely something a little bit more different. I want to thank you guys once again for checking out my videos. My passion for cinema knows no bounds, so join us next time when we head back to Italy for a 1980s video nasty classic, Anthropophagus. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss on the next video, and check me out on Instagram, and that's all folks, I'll catch you guys on the next one.